So one of the ways I like to get ready for the fall is to organize my closet and my outfits. I always find it hard this time of year to put away all my summer clothes and start to think about being more covered up, and also the layers. Even though that can be a lot of fun, it's like I have to go through a little bit of mourning period of the summer months, and I have at times left it way too long, where all of a sudden I find the weather gets really cool and I'm caught off guard and I'm scrambling, rummaging through boxes of fall stuff that I've stored, and I'm not prepared. And I hate that feeling because 9 times out of 10, I can't stand my outfit. I feel awkward all day long and I'm uncomfortable. So one of the ways I like to avoid all that is to start to prepare myself mentally and also physically in my closet. So what I like to do, where I start is I like to put together kind of like a Pinterest mood board of outfits that have inspired me and outfits that I'd like to emulate as the fall season progresses. And I talked about this last week in my Substack article. A lot of the time, these are items that I already have in my closet, or I may be introducing one or two new things. So how I like to start is I like to put together a bunch of photos that I found on Pinterest or on Instagram and put them all in one place and create a mood board and give that mood board kind of like a bit of a theme. And when I do this, I'm thinking about things that I already own in my closet that I already know I feel good in, so that it's not like I'm having to completely reinvent myself. This season, I did acquire a pair of Sperry kind of boating shoes, and this was the bouncing off point for what I'm calling the old world preppy. For me, this is a look that reminds me of when I was a young teenager in the 80s. It was kind of like preppy look that I actually never did myself at the time, but I kind of really love for right now. And I love it for me for right now because I feel like it's one of those looks that you can really use worn pieces, like an old worn boyfriend jean, for instance, with a blazer or a really cozy, comfy kind of sweater, big woolly socks, and then the boating shoes. And then also too, introducing like a worn leather bag. And I love this idea because I feel like this old world preppy, it's super chic, but without trying to be super chic, without trying to be super polished, if you know what I mean. I kind of think of it like Muskoka boating crowd, or maybe the yacht club in Maine, for instance, anywhere where you're kind of in and around bodies of water where it can also be a little bit messy. That's sort of my thinking when I put together this mood board. I love the idea of doing the boating shoes with a skirt or a dress. I think it's super fresh and super fun. And this to me is a look that I did a lot in the fall, in last spring, with a boyfriend jean, a t-shirt, a blazer, and then a loafer. But I'm just going to switch out the loafers for the Sperry's just to make it kind of fun and different and fresh for me. The next look that I've put together is what I'm calling Darling Marlena. And this is really loosely based on Marlene Dietrich kind of styling. This androgynous, think of men's suiting and 1930s. And I love this because of the silhouette. I find the silhouette is really flattering. High-waisted trouser that's really flowy with a blazer. I think this is stunning and flattering on so many different body types. Again, this is a look I did a lot last winter. A wide leg pant with a big chunky boot and a blazer, or an oversized blazer with a skinnier pant and a big chunky boot. I felt very comfortable in this kind of look, and I'm definitely going to repeat this idea because I felt so comfortable in it. I also like the idea of tweaking it a little bit by perhaps adding in a tie or playing around with different prints, doing a plaid with a stripe or doing a print with a plaid. I love this idea. I always have. And I feel like you can really draw inspiration from menswear. You can make it really bold or you can keep it really simple. I also really love the idea of adding in perhaps a pocket square to one of my jackets. Or what I included in my mood board was something that wasn't necessarily men's suiting, but kind of had that vibe. Because the idea here is just to make it fun and also be able to loosely interpret the mood. I mean, the reality is that I don't want to make this complicated for myself or difficult or give myself other sort of rules. This is supposed to be fun and playful, and it gets me in the mood of getting upstairs into my closet and starting to organize my closet and try on outfits. Because, like I said, there is one thing I cannot stand, and that is being frazzled in the morning and having to get dressed really quickly, where you can't find anything and then it's a disaster. So, lovelies, I hope this inspired you. I hope this gave you some ideas. I hope this made you want to do your own mood board or get yourself organized for fall dressing. Like, I know I'm sort of down on the fact that summer is ending, but fall dressing is really fun because there's more elements to it and there's a sharpness to it. There's a chicness that's always fun. So, this gets me in the mood. I'm excited, or starting to anyway. Hope you are too. Leave a comment down below letting me know your thoughts. You know I love hearing from you. You can check me out on Substack, and don't forget to follow me on Facebook and on Instagram.